high degree of cold, extreme high-speed winds. The sky often looks clear, but sometimes it remains unclear through the entire day due to dense fog. Sometimes it rains that makes the situation worse. Hilly areas covered with thick layer of white snow. Temperature all around is very low. Days are shorter and the nights are longer. Many animals and birds choose migration to find an appropriate place to live. Impaired visibility. Most of the humans experience common cold, flu, vomiting, and the chances of heart attack increases due to concentrating of blood in vessels, complete relief from heat and humidity. And many of us they enjoy ice skating, skiing, ice hockey, etc. Very ideal time for tours and travels. You can enjoy snowfalls, storms, cold rains, frost, fogs, and extremely low temperatures most of the time. You can easily understand today what is the topic of my health and safety training tutorial, how to work safely in winter. So, without wasting time, let's get started. Dear friends and fellows, in this training session, I'll discuss about health and safety regulations, how to assess risk, what might be the minimum working temperature. I'll highlight health issues, correct clothing and personal protective equipment, how to eliminate risk, how to work safely in high winds, what are the good and safe working practices in winter, how to avoid slips and trips. And in the last portion of this safety training session, I'll share the key tips how the employees can work safely in winter. First of all, I'll cover international health and safety regulations with respect to adverse weather conditions. The Health and Safety at Work Regulation 1974 requires employers to ensure the health and safety and welfare of employees at work so far as is reasonably practicable. Regulation 3 of Management of Health and Safety at Work Regulations 1999 requires employers to make a suitable and sufficient assessment of the risks to which employees are exposed whilst at work. Regulation number 7 of the Workplace Health and Safety Welfare, Regulation 1992, requires that the temperature of all indoor workplaces is reasonable during working hours. And Regulation 11 of the Workplace Health, Safety and Welfare, Regulations 1992, provides that all outdoor workstations, so far as is reasonably practicable, provide protection from adverse weather conditions. Health and Safety at Work 1974, Regulation 3 1999, Regulation 7 and Regulation 11 all covers and put the responsibility on the employers to ensure the safety, health and welfare of employees. They have to consider the indoor and outdoor working temperatures. So, if the safety practitioners they are recommending some special personal protective equipment for winter, this is not their choice. This is not by themselves. This is by law. For your kind information, these health and safety regulations are applicable worldwide. For all those countries, those are the part of International Labour Organization, are for all the states, those are the members of United Nations Organization. As you know, winter is ongoing temperature is very low, wind is blowing, but we cannot stop the activities at our workplaces. So there is the requirement for specific risk assessment for cold weather. For winter, employers should carry out a risk assessment of all work-related risks which are caused or increased by winter weather. Assessment of the risk to workers' health from working in a cold environment needs to consider both personal and environmental factors. Personal factor includes level of activity, the amount and type of clothing, and duration of exposure, while the environmental factors include ambient temperature and radiant heat. If working outside, sunlight, wind velocity, and the presence of rain or snow. All these points matter, and this all should be the part of risk assessment. Dear friends and fellows, you are on the platform of Safety First Life. If you are first time on this channel, kindly subscribe it and press the bell icon for all future notifications. And if you find the video informative, then like, comment and share it with your friends and colleagues. Let us understand few important points. How to work safely in winter. What is the minimum acceptable working temperature? Regulation 7 of the Workplace Health, Safety and Welfare Regulations 1992 requires that the temperature of all indoor workplaces is reasonable during working hours. The relevant approved code of practice goes on to explain that, subject to practicability, the temperature should provide reasonable comfort without the need for special clothing, and that the minimum temperature should be 16 degrees centigrade, or if much of the work is physical, 13 degrees centigrade. There are many situations where this cannot be achieved. For example, where food is handled or in cold stores. In these situations, the following measures should be taken. Warm clothing, time limitations in the cold areas, and rest areas. Local heating, for example, portable heaters may be needed during very cold spells to maintain the minimum temperature. That should never be lower than 13 degrees centigrade. This is by law, and you have to comply with the applicable rules and regulations. Let us understand now what are the effects of temperature if this is below 13 degrees centigrade. We should understand what can happen. Dear friends and fellows, the human body has a core temperature of 37 degrees centigrade. If the core body temperature drops below 31 degrees centigrade, unconsciousness can occur. But if the core body temperature drops below 26 degrees centigrade, death can occur. You have to convey this message to all your workers, supervisors, and the senior management personnel. In all cases, for all urgent site operations, you will never overlook the core body temperature. You have to maintain safe temperature working limitations. Early indications of being affected by the cold include slower reaction times and a lengthening of time it takes to complete tasks. Manual dexterity also decreases and more mistakes can be made. These are the outcomes of low temperature. To avoid health problems because of low temperatures, you must know the symptoms and signs of dangerous decrease in body temperatures that include persistent severe shivering, fatigue, lack of coordination, drowsiness or apathy, hallucinations, a resistance to help, skin turning blue, then becoming pale, and lastly dry. These all are the symptoms and signs of decrease in body temperature. If nothing is done to warm up the sufferer at this point, things become very serious. And do you know what will happen next? Shivering stops and muscles turn rigid. Breathing and heart rates slow and loss of consciousness. You are traveling faster towards the end. Your body organs are going to stop working. And now the countdown already started. According to the health and safety executive, workers are particularly at risk from cold when the ambient temperature is below 10 degrees centigrade. When the air temperature is 10 degrees centigrade and the wind speed is 20 miles per hour, the effective temperature, so far as the body is concerned, drops to 0 degrees centigrade. When the body is exposed to cold temperatures, effects can include dehydration, numbness, shivering, immersion foot. In very cold weather, workers can face two major health problems: hypothermia and frostbite. Do you know what is hypothermia and what is the meaning of frostbite? Let us learn now, dear friends and fellows. Hypothermia develops when the body can no longer maintain its core temperature. I have already told what is body core temperature. You have to memorize core body temperature because it's the matter of life, it's the matter of safety, and it's also the matter of your responsibility. The body first attempts to reduce heat loss by shutting down blood flow to the skin, arms, and legs, increasing internal heat production by shivering. While severe cases of hypothermia can be fatal, the effects of even mild hypothermia, such as poor coordination, irrational or confused behavior, can seriously impede workers' safety. As a safety practitioner, as a supervisor, as a work in charge, don't wait for critical emergency and don't compromise up till the 11th hour. You have to make intervention right in time to protect and save the lives of your workers. This is your responsibility. You don't have more time to make debate. You have to take action. Let us learn now what is frostbite. Frostbite can be caused by exposure to very cold weather, as well as through contact with extremely cold objects, such as metal tools. It commonly affects the face, ears, fingers, and toes. Frostbite freezes and crystallizes the fluids in the body tissues and cellular spaces. This can damage blood vessels, causing blood clotting and lack of oxygen to the affected area and deeper tissues. In severe cases, frostbite can damage tissue to the extent that amputation is required. Have a look. These are the different categories: first degree, second degree, and third degree of frostbite. If you are facing such condition, or if you observe the workers are in this critical situation, if you will not take immediate action, remember your life as well as your body organs are very important. There is no substitute against your parts or against your life, and life is only once. Dear friends and fellows, today we are talking about how to work safely in winter, how to deal with cold, adverse weather conditions. Now, I'm going to highlight some other hazards caused by cold weather conditions. Number one, workers with cardiovascular problems, with respiratory diseases, or on certain medication need to be especially careful in cold temperatures. Nose and ears. Fingers and toes are most likely to be affected by the cold, with the first symptoms often manifested as chilblains, itchy swellings on the skin. Number three, employees may suffer from more colds, attacks of bronchitis and asthma, or painful, stiff joints and fatigue as they use more energy in an attempt to keep warm. Number four, cold workers are also more likely to develop hand arm vibration syndrome when using pneumatic or vibrating tools. Number five, there is evidence that cold weather conditions can affect manual handling operations. So you have to remember cold weather conditions having few direct effects like hypothermia, frostbite, and some additional or indirect effects caused by extreme cold weather conditions. Now, the question is cold weather is there. We are in winter, temperature is low, there is snow, winds are blowing, and we are shivering. What to do for the safety of workers? Let us learn now. The correct clothing and personal protective equipment required to deal the extreme cold weather conditions. When working outside, wearing appropriate clothing is one of the measures required to reduce exposure. But you have to keep one important point in your mind. In cold, method of layering clothes is most effective. What is the meaning of layering clothes? An inner layer of clothing to absorb moisture, a shirt or sweater, and an outer layer that is waterproof, windproof, and durable. Other important items of personal protective equipment include insulated headgear. Up to half the body's heat can be lost through the head. Two layers of socks, cotton, beneath wool, for example. A pair of well fitted boots that come above the ankle. Hand protection is vital. Mittens are warmer than gloves but can limit dexterity. Wearing gloves under mittens can keep fingers warm, and mittens can be removed when extra dexterity is required. We were talking about the clothing and other personal protective equipment to minimize the impacts and effects of cold weather conditions. Let us understand some other different ways to eliminate the risk of cold. What are these? Number one, regular breaks being taken in a warm building with access to warm drinks is an effective method of ensuring better recovery and efficiency. Number two, food containing plenty of carbohydrates and fats for energy and warmth prior to beginning work can also help. Number three, wet clothing should be removed as quickly as possible, as it can cause both accelerated heat loss and impair movement. These all are the safety tips how you can avoid or eliminate the risk of cold weather conditions. How to deal with high winds because high winds are common in the cold weather. In winter, wind speeds should be measured and recorded in order to help assess dangerous cold weather conditions. Wind and rain shielding should be provided when an option, and working practices should cover the measures to be taken in poor weather conditions. Work in high winds should be avoided whenever possible. Dear friends and fellows, let us discuss now safe work practices in cold weather include number one, allowing more time for each task and for the negative effect of protective clothing on performance. Number two, a plan to reduce the cooling effect of sweaty clothing. Number three, regular checks on the health and safety of people working in cold conditions. Number four, preparations for vehicle breakdowns. with warm clothing, gloves, and blankets, as well as a hot drink and normal emergency supplies. And number five, training workers to recognize the symptoms and signs of overexposure in themselves and their colleagues with respect to cold weather conditions. Number six, ensuring metal handles are insulated and that controls are capable of being operated with gloves on, ensuring cold metal surfaces are, where possible, labeled. Number seven, shelter, welfare facilities, and regular breaks in a heated cabin, including warm water for washing and to help warm up cold hands. Number eight, first aid facilities. Number nine, facilities for changing, drying, and storing protective clothing. And number 10, ensuring that where fine work is performed with bare hands at 16 degrees centigrade or less for more than 10 to 20 minutes, measures to keep hands warm, such as warm air jets, are provided. These all are the examples of safe working practices in cold weather. What kind of your project is, what is the nature of your activities, it doesn't matter. If you are working in cold, you have to follow these safety requirements, these safety tips, and safe working procedures to avoid frostbite or hypothermia. You can minimize the chances of heart attack, and you can even improve the productivity if you will comply with the safe working procedures and the international health and safety regulations. Dear friends and fellows, there is the risk of slips and trips during winter. Employers need to take reasonable action to keep paths and walkways free from ice and snow. Employers have a duty not just to their own staff, but also to non employees such as public and other visitors. You should do for the cause of safety to protect and preserve the lives of human beings. Either they are your workers or they are the members of public. Life is life, and life is equally important. You have to think as a human being. Morally, you are responsible for your safety and for the safety of others. Do you know how we can prevent slips and trips in winter? Let us discuss now some safe working strategies to minimize the risk of slips and trips. Number one, use de-icing salts on areas prone to be slippery in frosty, icy conditions. Number two, consider covering walkways, for example, by an arbor high enough for people to walk through, or use an insulating material on smaller areas overnight. Number three, install signage to divert pedestrians to less slippery walkways and barrier off existing ones. De-icing salt needs time to dissolve, so gritting is best done early in the evening before frost settles and or early in the morning before employees arrive. If you will not choose the right time, maybe your effort is still not very useful. Dear friends and fellows, you are in the winter. You are facing extremely low temperature. Maybe near your working site, there is snowfall, there is high wind, there are rains. You must know how to work safely in winter. Let us discuss few safe working tips as an employee. If you will follow these safety rules, you can avoid or minimize the impacts of adverse cold weather conditions. You can work safely and comfortably, even though the weather conditions are not suitable. Number one, always dress properly for cold weather. Number two, Put on warm clothes before you go outside, where you have to face extremely low temperatures and cold winds. Number three, carry extra dry clothing if you are likely to get wet. Number four, keep your skin dry. Wet skin freezes quicker than dry skin. Drink plenty of water to prevent dehydration. Number five, if possible, do outdoor work during the warmest part of the day. Avoid sitting still outdoors for long periods of time. Number six, take adequate breaks from the cold. Number seven, don't touch metal or wear metal jewelry outdoors in the cold. Number eight, avoid alcohol, cigarettes, and too much coffee and other drinks with caffeine. Stay in good physical shape. In this way, you can bear safely the adverse cold weather conditions. Dear friends and fellows, remember your core body temperature is 37 degrees centigrade. If it reduces to 31 degrees centigrade, unconsciousness may be the result. You can fall, you can meet with any accident. But if your core body temperature reduces up to 26 degrees centigrade, there is the chance of immediate death, even though your work is important. But in all cases, you have to maintain your core body temperature. In any case, it should not reduce below 26 degrees centigrade. In that case, keep in your mind, maybe you will not end up the work, but you will be no more. You can work safely, even in the extreme cold weather conditions, if you will comply and follow with the safety requirements and safe working procedures. And you know very well, the winter starts from November till February. December and January are the extreme with respect to cold. I do hope now it's well clear for you how to work safely in winter. And that's all for today. Training session, how to work safely in winter is over. If you have any question, please ask in the comment section. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment and share the video. Hope to see you soon with a new HSC tutorial. Until then, take care, good luck and goodbye.